Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
The experts are saying that the Tom Brady ball into the jugs machine video from the weekend is doctored and fake. And
I'm not having it.
well, okay, face off. Face off for the Ultimate Fan Zone and the Mad Greek Restaurant. Was Tom Brady's video fake? And for those that didn't see it, Tompa was lining up. How far was he from the jugs machine?
9 yards to start, 10 yards.
Okay, ish.
Yeah.
And then further for the third one.
That's right.
And he threw the football right between the spinning wheels of the jugs machine, which is the machine that fires footballs at receivers to warm them up, or football players overall. Threw it right into the middle of it. There's no way it's real. It's like putting a bullet back down the barrel of a gun. Not going to happen. He did it twice, and then the third, and he put it right in the middle of those jugs, two spinning wheels, and it spit it right back at him. And then the third time, it went straight up in the air.
Because he knocked the machine over. And trust me, my first thought was, okay, wait, this is in reverse. The thing came to him, and he just caught it like this. And it's actually rewinding. We're watching it in reverse. And then I watched it. I'm like, no, it's not in reverse. And I'm kind of a creative guy, and I'm trying to think, how did they doctor it? And the reason I don't think it's doctored is because I can't figure out how it's doctored. So if I can't figure out how it's fake and how they created this, then I don't know that it's fake.
2021, man. They can
I
do
know,
anything.
but
Maybe it's all cartoon.
Somebody break it down and show me how
Somebody
it's fake.
said to me, there's no way that Tom Brady would do that. He would never post a fake video. I'm like, really? Really?
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show. Now,
I say it every day with the people that I'm around. It's not that people are dumb, maybe ignorant. Ignorant means unaware of how things work. We've really realized this in the last 6 months about a lot of things.
how about that?
I'm not criticizing you. I've just never met anybody like that before. Everybody in my circle likes a little bit of everything, or a lot of everything. But that's the whole idea of diversifying, right? Variety is the spice of life.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hey, howdy Canada. Welcome to the RP Show and Canadian sports fans around the world. It's Tuesday. It's episode number 536. And we are coming to you from the bunker. Breaking news. Breaking news.
Yeah,
I need a minute.
I know.
We're live, by the way, on Game Plus Television, plus streaming on YouTube and Facebook. Live.
Like you got.
If that isn't a microcut, that's okay. The Golden Knights hat has hit the deck. Fortunately, I have another one. It's that kind of day already.
Yeah. Do we need a moment of silence? Is that?
We were out front having our curb coffee, Moose Dupont and I. Clark texted me, producer Clark, and he goes, "Do you have a poll question yet?" And by the way, Fleury to the Blackhawks.
Spicy.
Honestly, I'm like, what, Theo? What do you mean Fleury? There's a million Fleuries. What Fleury?
Yeah, I immediately thought Hayden or Kale or.
Right.
That's what I instantly.
There's no way.
He just won
the Vegas Golden Knights would. No.
He just won the Vezina.
Breaking news on this Tuesday, July 27th in the year of our Lord 2021. If I can check my notifications here. Reigning, I called it up already. I have to go off the top of my head. Reigning Vezina Trophy winner Marc-Andre Fleury has been traded from the Vegas Golden Knights to the Chicago Blackhawks. Please do not adjust your set. It's happening. It's done. It's been consummated. And I've got my thoughts, which we'll get into. That's the breaking news today. The guy that they got, Hakkarainen?
Yeah.
Was his name? Mikko Hakkarainen. Split last year between the American Hockey League and the ECHL. So if you don't know his name, you're forgiven. Marc-Andre Fleury's gone. So I guess before we jump into the quick six show topics, and before we even tell you who's coming up on the program today, here's my 60 seconds on Marc-Andre Fleury. Look, I don't know what went into this. Maybe it's a financial thing, $7 million off the books here for the Vegas Golden Knights. Our poll question is, did the Vegas Golden Knights keep the proper goalie for Capital Automall Universal Collision Center? Robin Lehner, now, as of today, is the goalie of record for the Vegas Golden Knights. They're looking for a new franchise face. 73% say no, they should have kept Marc-Andre Fleury. I'm just going to go out on a limb, and I'm not speaking for the Vegas Golden Knights, clearly, but I am speaking as a Vegas Golden Knights fan. He cost them the series against the Montreal Canadiens. Can we say it now? Can Vegans say that Marc-Andre Fleury cost them the series? Because he did. You can't tell me there isn't a snippet of that in this trade. You can't. And if you tell me that there isn't, I'll say that you're pulling my leg. That's something that you can't necessarily come back from as a franchise. Nobody with the Golden Knights would say that at the time. The media wouldn't even say it, let alone the people with, can we say it now? He cost them the series against Montreal. And by the way, I love Marc-Andre. Je t'aime. But I guess he had to go. I'm not advocating that they had to move him. That's probably where the money comes in. Darren was scrambling to find out who the backup was for the Vegas Golden Knights. He asked me. I'm like, I have no idea, because it's only been Marc-Andre Fleury and Robin Lehner for the last 2 years. How would we know? But you went to the big board and you looked it up.
Yeah, Logan Thompson.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
The former Brandon Wheat King.
Exactly. It's wild. Wild. I mean, he just won the Vezina, but I want to put on my business hat here for a second. And there's two sides of this. One, I think if I'm voting in the poll, they made the right move. You know, you got a goaltender who's 6 years younger in Lehner, 30. A goaltender who's $2 million a year cheaper. I think he signed a 5-year, $25 million contract. So cap hit of 5. Fleury's $7 million now off the books. You get a goaltender who's very capable, maybe just as capable as Fleury is. And some would argue maybe better, but I wouldn't. So I think they're okay. I think they made the right move. You can't play this dance and have, unless you're Montreal, you can't have, $12 million in cap space allotted to your two goaltenders.
Got to the Stanley Cup.
Got to the Stanley Cup, though. But on the other, so that aside, it's a good move. But on the other side, Marc-Andre Fleury was the franchise. He was the Golden Knights franchise and has been for a long time. The gold pads, the personality. He's everything you want. And he just won the Vezina, so he's a top goaltender at 36 years old, one of the best in the NHL.
Apparently, we're not live on YouTube. I'm trying to join the stream, and we can't, so we can look into that. The warm-up is brought to you. Okay, Clark says they're up. It's a me problem. Usually is. The warm-up brought to you. Yeah, because I see comments coming in on YouTube. Sorry, guys. I got to get this thing fixed. The warm-up brought to you by Ecold Electric. Come check out our new Regina Data and Lighting Center, Ecold Electric. Let's get to work. Now back to the normal order of business. Can you, Rod Smith, one of the top two announcers on the CFL on TSN play-by-play. I'm not sure if it's him or Rod Black, but Rod Smith will be with us in Block 2 coming up. That's going to be entertaining. And Eric Engels from Sportsnet Montreal. I'm looking forward to chatting and catching up with Eric. So that's our guest today. Can we please hit the quick six show topic? I'm in a glass case of emotion here today. I'm a little off because I do love me some Marc-Andre Fleury.
Oh, how could you not?
But he did cost them the series against Montreal. We're in agreement on that. Right?
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, he's going to the Hall of Fame. He's one of the best goaltenders we've seen. He's going to go down as an all-timer, but he cost them the series. They were winning, and they were on their way.
Well, so this all went down like 30 minutes ago, and I noticed that the text line is still on the charger in your office, which is fine. We don't need it right now.
We didn't meet in there today.
But for the folks watching all over North America on Game Plus Television, hit us up, 306-840-8777. That's 840-8777. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. I want to hear from you. So we open with breaking news. These are the quick six show topics, please. And thank you, Director Jordan. If he's still awake back there, because, I mean, did we hit it already?
Once.
We did? I don't know. I'm a little off today. The Flower might retire, by the way. That's what he's talking about, not even going to Chicago. So we'll see. This all seems so yesterday now. Winnipeg Jets acquired defenseman Brendan Dillon. What are you laughing at?
I know.
From the Capitals. I wonder sometimes why I go to bed at night wondering what I'm going to talk about the next day. Anyways, Brendan Dillon's gone to the Winnipeg Jets as Chevy continues to tinker on that Winnipeg Jets roster. And then this was a pretty big one, I thought. The Arizona Coyotes acquiring defenseman Anton Strahlmann from the Florida Panthers. Looked up his stats. He played almost every game last year for the Panthers. He was good. He was left unprotected, I think, by the Panthers for the expansion draft. It was one of those trades where it was like three guys went one way and one pick went the other way. This was one of those ledger deals, bank balance deals, it seems. But Coyotes are making moves, and good for them. Point two, former Alabama Crimson Tide defensive lineman Tim Williams, a rookie in camp with the Saskatchewan Roughriders, blew his Achilles tendon on Friday, which I reported on the weekend, if you noticed, at rodpedersen.com. He is now the 5th member of the Green and White to blow an Achilles, 8th across the Canadian Football League. So we'll come back on that. A little later on, I see that I have to do I get to do a Great Western Ultra, Original 16 Ultra update today, where I will address the injuries across the CFL. So we won't spend much time on that now. The Toronto Blue Jays, which I watched this game last night, blew another one at Boston. Very entertaining game. But the ESPN announcers were just roasting George Springer, by the way, for shoddy base running. Were the Sportsnet guys?
Oh, I was going to say.
A little bit?
It was on the big network last night. I noticed.
Yeah. Oh, you're watching the same feed as me?
Well, I was flipping between that and the Olympics. I watched a lot of Olympics last night.
They weren't afraid to roast George Springer on ESPN last night. What's he getting? What is he getting? Is it as much as $40 million a year? It's something obscene. It's at least $25 million, but in Major League Baseball, that's a pittance. Yeah. My God, if you only make $25 million in Major League Baseball, you're a loser. What's he getting, Clark?
It's a $150 million deal.
$25 million? 6-year at 100, right. Doesn't know how to run the bases, apparently. Anyways, Alex Verdugo hit a 2-run homer in the 8th. And the division-leading Boston Red Sox rallied late for the second straight game, beating Toronto 5-4 in the opener of an important series for the Blue Jays. Adam Ottavino worked a scoreless inning for the win. Matt Barnes got the final 3 outs for his 22nd save. Toronto starter Thomas Hatch made just his second big league start, and he departed with the lead, Moose. Trevor Richards took the loss for the Toronto Blue Jays. Stuff's going down at the Olympics, by the way. I'm chatting with a lot of my friends and my peeps about the Olympics and what's going on. We're all watching it. It seems very strange that there's nobody in the facilities. But you'd think we'd be used to it after a year
I know,
of this.
right?
We're coming up on the NHL, coming back August 1st of last year, so you'd think we'd be used to it, but we're not. Weightlifter Maud Charon has won Canada's 2nd gold medal at the Tokyo Games. The Rimouski, Quebec product finished first in the women's 64-kilo competition. And her gold is Canada's 2nd of the Games after swimmer Maggie McNeil won the women's 100-meter butterfly on Monday. I see people writing in here about Canada winning a bronze medal in the softball. The only problem I have with the Olympics, and it's not really a huge one, is I have no idea what day it is. I'm watching it going, is this live? Is it taped? Is it tomorrow? Is it yesterday? What's the medal count? I'm trying to find some accurate place to see who's in the lead with the medals. It's clearly not going to be us, but I just want to see if our total's going up every day.
I know.
And apparently it is.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, when we get to about just before, late afternoon out east and I guess it's late afternoon out west and supper time out east, that's when they're waking up in Japan, and that's when the events are starting. So all evening and into the night, and then you watch kind of Japan's prime time when you wake up in the morning. But it's funny. I was watching gymnastics last night. I've seen all the memes, and they're really funny, but they're true. as you're sitting there on the couch watching, like eating your third bag of chips, and some gymnast, misses the landing and steps out of the box, and you're just like criticizing him, right? As you're sitting here having snacks on the couch and doing nothing. But I don't know. It's fun to watch. I'm getting into it. It's taken a few days, but I'm into it now.
Clark is really on the bit today. Back to the biggest news story of the day. Marc-Andre Fleury has been traded to the Chicago Blackhawks by the Vegas Golden Knights, Canada's team. And this from the agent of Marc-Andre Fleury. The agent, by the way, is Alan Walsh, and we all remember him, right?
Oh, yeah.
He says he has not yet heard from anybody from Vegas and found out through Twitter about the trade. He's about to meet with the family to make a decision on the playing future. Hey, Alan, don't bitch talk the Golden Knights. Maybe you're as big of a reason that this relationship broke down. It clearly is a fractured relationship, not necessarily Marc-Andre Fleury and the Golden Knights, but Vegas doesn't like Alan Walsh, so maybe zip it. Why do you need to be informed? The agent. Anyways, I'll move on, but I'm just this guy, whatever. He says he found out via Twitter. I bet you the Flower didn't find out through Twitter.
That's what I hope.
The Golden Knights have more respect than that, but they don't like Alan Walsh. I don't blame them. The agent. Oh. Clark says Fleury found out through Twitter. I'll believe it when I see it. There's a lot of fake news out there. More stuff today in the National Hockey League. The Oilers to buy out James Neal, the Sharks to buy out Martin Jones, and the Canucks to buy out Braden Holtby. So there's going to be some goalies floating around here before long. 0.5 CEBL play last night. Saskatchewan Rattlers went, they are who we thought they were. They lost in Ottawa last night, 82-69 to the Blackjacks. And the Winnipeg Blue Bombers announcing today they will unveil the 2019 Grey Cup Championship banner at IG Field Thursday, August 5th, when the team plays host to the Hamilton Tiger Cats in a 2019 Grey Cup rematch. The first CFL action since the 107th Grey Cup in Calgary, November 29th, 2019. You people in Manitoba are encouraged to arrive early to make sure they are in their seats for the 7:30 p.m. banner unveiling. The gates will open 90 minutes before kickoff with pregame party specials from 6 until 7 p.m. Hey! A live performance by the new Blue Bombers house band led by Jennifer Hansen. I think she used to sing the national anthem at Jets games way back in the old Winnipeg Arena. I held her coat one night when she walked onto the ice. If this is the same Jennifer Hansen.
How about that?
I gotta think that it is.
Yeah.
How many Jennifer Hansens could there be in Winnipeg that sing?
I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
I'll never forget. It was hockey night in Canada. I was just standing there, and she's like, "Can you hold this?" Yeah. From Bombers president Wade Miller, it has been a long 20 months waiting to be able to celebrate with our fans, which will make Thursday night that much more memorable. Our staff has worked extremely hard to get to this point, and we can't wait to unveil our championship banner with a full stadium in attendance. Fans still interested in purchasing 2021 season tickets or mini plans can do so from the Blue Bombers website, saving up to 40% on regular individual game prices, yada, yada, yada. Go to bluebombers.com for more info on that. So that's a lot on a Tuesday, Moose.
Oh, yeah.
Again, the warm-up is proudly presented by our friends at Ecol Electric. Check out their new Regina Data and Lighting Center, Ecol Electric. Let's get to work. The CFL on TSN's Rod Smith joins us next. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus television network across all 10 provinces and 31 states. Live daily on YouTube and Facebook, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
At Capital Ford Lincoln, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. we're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital Ford Lincoln, we'll buy it.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
In today's fast-paced world, we know you don't always have time to cook a nutritious meal. The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw's got you covered with delicious takeout and delivery specials, even for large groups or occasions. Authentic Greek cuisine, pizza, ribs, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Offering licensed dining, delivery, and their takeout window is open to get your Greek to go. For more information and to view the online menu, visit themadgreekeatery.com. Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
It absolutely is. Welcome back, everybody. Canada's daytime sports talk show continues. Again, the breaking news. The Vegas Golden Knights have traded goaltender Marc-Andre Fleury to the Chicago Blackhawks. For whom? Doesn't matter. The flower is gone to Chicago. My phone's going nuts. Our Golden Knights text string fans were expecting the flower to retire. By the way, regarding Jennifer Hansen, the former Jets anthem singer who's now singing at the home opener for the Blue Bombers, Robert in Winnipeg writes in on the Prairie Mobile text line and says, yes, Rod, it is the same Jennifer Hansen. She moved back from Atlanta a couple of years ago. How about that? From the 587, Craig in Calgary says lots of good feels with all of the great results from Tokyo. Dare I say it? Is it time to finalize bids for Vancouver 2030 or Toronto 2036? Just hold on. Let's get through these Olympics first without a COVID outbreak, and then we'll worry about 2030. Okay, let's bring him in now. Rod Smith, CFL on TSN. I appreciate him sitting through all of that. Roderick, how you doing, my man?
I am Roderick. Are you Roderick or Rodney, Rod Pedersen?
I am Rodney. Absolutely, yes.
Okay. We got it all covered here on the Rod Show.
Oh, man. I don't like to bring people on with deeper voices than I have, but today I will make an exception.
Yeah, right.
Rod, how is your
Good
life?
to see you again, by the way.
Always good to see you. Always good to see you, my man. Congratulations on the posting. We had Milt on Friday and said how much you'd coveted this role. How has your life changed since you've been named a lead play-by-play man for the CFL on TSN?
Well, I'm still technically on a preseason vacation. It hasn't changed yet, but it is about to, Rod. Thank you. And in a really good way. I loved the studio. I love working with Milt and Maddie and Davis Sanchez and, of course, Henry and our dearly departed Schultze, our friend who passed away earlier this year. I got a lot of fond memories of that show. But before I hang it up and call it a career, I wanted to get back in the booth. You may recall, although this is going back, I was actually the host of the CFL on TSN back in 1997, and I had a chance to hit the road in 98 and call games, and a guy by the name of James Duthie took over from me. And I loved it. I did, but my family was quite young, and it wasn't just going to represent travel during the football season. It was meaning becoming a play-by-play guy full time and being on the road a lot. And I thought there was a lot of stress in a young family, so I chose the studio. I didn't regret it. I've loved every minute of it, but this is an opportunity at least to get out and call, not just doing play-by-play of a sport that I love. It's in my blood. I was born in Ottawa and raised on the CFL, and I continue to love it, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, I'm looking forward to the call. I mean, you've called enough games over the years. I've heard it, and you're fantastic. But listen, I didn't want to say this to Milt on Friday when he was on, but Rod, the best panel ever. Yourself, E.T., Obi, and Marty York. How did you keep that romper
Actually,
room?
you know what?
What?
It was, Rod, it was actually E.T. came the next year. It was Les Brown. Remember Les Brown, Hall of Famer?
Well, of course.
Obi, Les, and Marty. And that show got off the rails in a real hurry. So, yeah, thanks for the memories.
I just remember Obi's bracelet rattling off the desk all the time. And, oh, my God, it was so good. It's always been good for 25 years or whatever. But, I mean, oh, my God, those guys were something else. So what is your take on the CFL training camps here as we enter week 3? What's sticking out at you?
Well, I mean, it's like no other, and it's not ideal. Let's face it. I mean, no preseason games, very little contact. I thought I've talked to a couple of coaches. I thought it was really telling what Craig Dickinson had to say in one of his media conferences afterwards about their scrimmage. You can sense the frustration just because they're blowing the whistle early, so you don't know how well the offensive line is doing because they don't want a defensive lineman hitting the quarterback. Just things like that. This is not ideal, but I understand that. They got to get going again. They got to find a way. And if it's under these conditions, less than ideal as they are, I'm still glad to see that they're giving it a go and they're going to play again. So, here's hoping next year it'll be a lot more normal, full training camps, preseason games, of course, and everything else. But, yeah, I mean, I can see how it's tough on a coach and players, too, trying to make the team.
I know, I'm pretty sure you told me this before, but were you not a lineman with the Golden Gales? What was your football history?
Yeah, I played at Queens for a couple of years. I was a center,
yeah.
and then I moved outside to right tackle. So that was, that was a long time ago, late 70s, early 80s. But so a little bit there. And enough to certainly have an understanding of Canadian university sports and football. But it was just all part of the passion that I had for it. Not the greatest old lineman, to be sure, but I had a lot of fun playing the game and made it that much more fun watching it, and even as mentioned, getting a chance to call it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was the Queen's Golden Gales. So yes, absolutely. Yeah. So I think that the coaches
got a picture.
Yeah, is that you?
1979. Well, I'm in there at the back, just an 18-year-old kid, but they had won the Vanier Cup, the national title, the year before, and that was a pretty good team too. Lost to Western in a national semifinal, but fond memories. That's all I have right now, Rod. Right behind me.
Well, Rod, every guy on that team was notable, but who's somebody that our viewers might recognize that you recall, name-wise?
Well, there were a couple that went to the CFL. One was the late Jim Muller, who played for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and he was a Metris Trophy winner. Another one, Ross Francis, who played in Ottawa. But and there was another teammate, Greg Bond, who was a very good college player, whose father happened to be Bobby Bond. So there were a number of course, famous NHL player. But a lot of really good, talented people. I don't know if there'd be one name that would be household standing out now. Played against Greg Marshall, who later became a great head coach with Western, who he was just an outstanding running back. His brother Blake, of course, had a terrific CFL career, but Greg's was cut down by injury. But a lot of good football talent. But I'm just off the top of my head, I'm trying to think of someone that would, a name that would just pop out with a long CFL career.
Well, that's a few. Speaking of those types of guys, Arlen Bruce III is watching, and he writes in all caps. Do you guys want to put it on the screen? Every time I hear Rod Smith, I think he's doing highlights. Loved when he did my highlight reels. Congratulations. And to be honest with you, when the news released, there's the comment on the bottom of the screen from Arlen. This did not surprise me with the announcement at all, Rod, because in a lot of ways, your voice is the soundtrack of the CFL, along with Cuthbert, along with Rod Black. I saw Rod's a call of him of a Greg Ellingson touchdown. I was in the highlight pack this morning. That's when I watched SportsCenter. So, and Kelsey's Roadhouse. Every time I drive by Kelsey's, I think of you. By the way, Ryan Gregory writes on YouTube, how does Rod Smith think the quality of play will be after that much time off and no preseason?
It's a great question, and let's be honest. I mean, I could couch it by saying I think it'll get better as the season goes on, but I mean, when you don't have scrimmage, well, you barely have scrimmage and you don't have preseason games, I think the quality of the start of the season is going to leave a bit to be desired. That said, sometimes games can be awfully interesting when mistakes happen. I mean, not that I'm looking forward to going and watching a game with a bunch of mistakes made as teams struggle to find their identity, but I still think the games could be entertaining, but I certainly don't think they're going to be mistake-free. I think it's going to take these teams, especially under these circumstances, a lot of time to gel and really find out who they are. And that could take weeks. I think we could be talking week 4 or week 5 before they start to establish an identity. But that said, I'm really curious. I love the league anyway. I mean, despite of the circumstances they're going to struggle through in the early part of this season, I'm really looking forward to it. So, and by the way, Rod, Arlen Bruce, yeah, I did read a lot of highlights and I think did a couple of games that he was doing too. He was a heck of a ball player.
Oh, for sure. And just an electric personality. One of the guys that makes the CFL so great. I don't know how many interviews you're doing, Rod. I assume it's a lot. I mean, I was on a podcast last night, and I'll say it, no credentials required podcast out of Albany, New York. And they asked for a Grey Cup prediction. And I was like, it is so early. You know what teams get to the Grey Cup are usually the healthiest. And Bo Levi's not practicing. Nick Arbuckle's not practicing. Michael Riley's missed time. Matt Nichols isn't practicing. And by the way, no fault of their own, Rod. This is 2 weeks through training camp with 2 weeks to go. It's impossible to make a Grey Cup prediction right now.
Yeah, good luck to you. I mean, I think the fallback that many have, including me, it's easy to lean on Hamilton because we're basing it on 2019. And Jeremiah Masoli is healthy, and they have the most enviable quarterback situation, at least based on the previous season the CFL played, than any other club in the league with Dane Evans there as well. But you're right. I mean, it's I'm proud of my 2019 prediction because I got it right, the matchup and the winner. But in this one, it is just too hard to really know. I mean, I do hear a lot of Hamilton and some Saskatchewan. You know, if despite their changes, if they can find a way to pick up what they did in 2019, but next to impossible. We really don't know, and that's the thing. There are going to be a lot of new faces in this league, but not only that, there are veteran players who haven't played in a long time, upwards of 2 years. And to your point, injuries are a concern too, especially early on, given the circumstances coming in. And I really hope. You know, we had a year where just about every starting quarterback went down just a couple of years ago, and I really hope we're not dealing with that. I hope they can stay healthy enough and stay on the field and figure this thing out early on in the season.
By the way, Winnipeg has woken up. The viewers. Tacona Pally writes in and says, bombers. Well, yeah,
hey,
for sure. Yeah.
Who did I have in 2019? Bombers beating Hamilton, the Grey Cup. That was my preseason prediction. So don't think I don't show Winnipeg any love.
Go. We got to find that clip. Yeah, you should pick that clip up and open up this season with that. Hey, let's get into it. Jeff, the Stamps fan watching in Calgary, says Hamilton has a lot of pressure on them. They have a shrinking window, and the Cup is at Tim Hortons Field.
True.
I don't think pressure's going to bother them. I really don't. But what is your take on that comment?
Well, I mean, I can see the point that, as I mentioned before, a lot of people think that they should be the favorite right now. And I'll say, even though, as we talked about before, it's so difficult to establish after this long layoff. So sure, I'll say I think Hamilton should be, the preseason favorite going in, but there's just so much up in the air. But the fact that the Grey Cup is in Hamilton for the first time since 1996, and the Ticats have this team that lost to a great Bomber team in 2019, and I think they feel it's their time. As mentioned, their quarterback situation, their talented set of receivers, a very strong defense, a number of great veterans, the core of that team still intact, coming back. And in the East, still somewhat in flux. I mean, I'll be curious to see what Montreal can do to build on 2019. The Argos made a lot of changes, but going with a young quarterback in Nick Arbuckle, and Ottawa, with Paul Lapalisse, still building that team, trying to rebuild after a really tough year in 2019. So I can see it. I do think there's pressure on the Ticats. Absolutely. The expectation is there.
James, watching in Borden, Manitoba, says, I'm just so happy to have Rod and the CFL back. So there you go, Roderick. You are making people happy. Ryan, watching in the Maritimes.
Thank you.
Yeah, Ryan, watching in the Maritimes, says, what's Rod's take on the Schooners? Any news on that?
It's interesting. I first heard that Schooner's name in my last year at Queens in 81. We were down at the Atlantic Bowl. In my final game, we lost to Acadia, but there was a lot of talk about it then with the late J.I. Albrecht and interest. They'd established we're going back 40 years, where they had established the Atlantic Schooners name and the plan to play in Husky Stadium at St. Mary's, obviously with a lot of seats added. It didn't, for financial reasons, it never panned out. And the dream of that 10th team, occasionally referred to as 9th team when when the CFL was, for a time, an 8-team league, but talking about the 10th team again, that dream hasn't gone away. It seems like it's been a little bit closer, but still, I really wonder what this global pandemic has done to that plan, as the CFL has got to get, its own house in order financially and make sure that its current franchises are okay, I think, and get back on its feet, before they can think about that 10th team. That's my thought. I'd be curious to see how it plays out, but I don't. It seems to me anyway like it'd be more of a back burner thing until the CFL is sure that it's recovered from really an awful couple of years.
I think we have only 60 seconds, but I just want to ask you about, what was the name of that show you and I talked about that you did with Pop and Jones, where you sat around in the restaurant, in the bar, and just talked? Around
the Table, I think it was called. Around the Table.
How awesome was that? And you guys only aired it like one weekend. That's something I would have watched the same show 5 times. Will you ever do that again?
Thank you. That part frustrated me because we never knew what feed it was going to be on. Because I had friends that would tell me, when is it on? And I think it's on TSN 3 at 7:30 and running again on TSN 4 the next day. And I wish that it had been given more play, because I don't know if they're doing it again, but I'd love to, because just to be able to do TV that way, I'll make it quick. It was a half-hour show, but we'd shoot about 45 to 50 minutes. So it was probably an editing nightmare, but they were relaxed and got lots of great stories. I had a lot of fun doing that.
Hey, well, how was Jones?
That was Chris. He was honest. He was honest. I mean, I actually enjoyed him in that, because he didn't pull punches, he didn't mince words, and that's what we were looking for. And I know you like that in an interview as well.
He's a great guy. I knew he was great.
Yeah.
I knew what the answer would be. Hey, Rod, thanks for the time. Always good seeing you, my man. We'll see you on the trail.
Great to see you again, Rod. Thank you for this.
The CFL on TSN's Rod Smith joining us from the T-Dot. We got a sports update coming up, and more of those stories, eh?
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, it's the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC, Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Ultimate Fan Zone. Shop online. UltimateFanZone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. UltimateFanZone.ca. Or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFC Downtown Moose Jaw. Home of everything authentic.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. It's a big day. Breaking news today, if you haven't heard, and that's why we love doing daytime sports talk. There's nobody else on television in this fine country talking sports like we are. And here, the reason I'm so down is this. Reigning Vezina Trophy-winning goaltender Marc-Andre Fleury has been traded from the Vegas Golden Knights, Canada's team, to the Chicago Blackhawks, and is contemplating his future, according to his agent. Alan Walsh tweeted this morning that Fleury had still not heard from the Golden Knights about the deal. The 36-year-old goalie did not have Chicago on his 10-team no-trade list, but did not want to play for any team other than Vegas. Walsh wrote on Twitter, Marc-Andre will be taking time to discuss his situation with his family and seriously evaluate his hockey future at this time. It's the first time in 20 years the reigning Vezina Trophy was traded before the next season. Who was the last one, guys?
Patrick Roy.
No.
No?
But you're somewhat close.
Okay. How many years?
20 years. 2001 it happened.
Jocelyn Thibault?
The Dominator.
Dominic Hasek.
Yes.
Or sorry, not Tebow.
Buffalo traded Dominic Cash. No, you're good.
Yeah.
Buffalo traded the Dominator to Detroit on the first day of free agency in 2001, which, by the way, I was thinking about this the other day. Today is episode 536. You know, we used to do the jersey number thing for the show number. And we kind of stopped doing that once we hit 100. So let's just go back and have fun. Jersey number 36. Who's your all-time favorite number 36s out there?
The bus? Jerome Bettis?
Jerome Bettis. Well, off the top of my head, I'm thinking David Ridgway, the robo-kicker from CFL circles. But I was thinking about 39 for some reason. And did Hasek not wear 39?
That's right.
Okay. And Dougie Waite. Mm-hmm. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag for 3 days from now. But who's your favorite all-time number 36s?
I know.
I could Google it right now as I continue to.
Got to be some goalies wearing 36.
Got to be some goalies, yeah, for sure. Footballers,
yeah.
The bus, as you say,
yeah.
Let's go to the big board.
While you do that,
yes,
a tweet you may or may not have seen already from our friend Cameron Hughes.
What do you say?
I hope it's April Fool's in Vegas. So they're really sad in Vegas. They're not feeling very good.
Nuh-uh. He's the face of the franchise. All of a sudden, Wayne Newton's the most popular man in Las Vegas again.
Yeah.
Except for with Clark Griswold. Because Wayne Newton was trying to mow his lawn. Shaquille O'Neal wore number 36, by the way.
Matthew Barnaby?
Barney? Did somebody say Barney?
Yeah, Ryan McCarthy. Good one.
Love it.
Very good.
From Allie Hicks, Aloha, RP Show. Yesterday's Great Western pick of producer Clark and his dad, we thought Clark looked a lot like the late wrestler Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
How about that?
Can we do a side-by-side?
Great interview with Rod Smith. CFL Countdown is on. Go Riders. From Sean McCormick from the Game Plus studios in downtown Toronto. From out of left field.
Yes.
Number 36, Dmitry Yushkevich.
I got his hockey card somewhere.
Was he a Leaf?
Yeah.
He was a Bud?
Defenseman. For a while, too.
See, you people that weren't watching this show before we went to Game Plus, you have no idea how much fun we had before we went to national television. We did this stuff every day, right?
Yeah, and we just didn't want to reset the clock and start again.
We thought that would be...
But you know what? Maybe it's something we do for 100 episodes once we hit 1,000. 1,001, 2, 3...
Howby, we're doing it right now.
Well, I know, but you got me thinking 39s now.
I know, right? James in Borden, Manitoba says, Jimmy Oligny, number 36. Yeah, here they come. Here, it's raining number 36s now. Lori Bursey, an Argos fan, says, favorite Argo, number 36, Don Mullen and Lester Smith. From Todd Pinkney, one of our P1s. Tony Pollard from your Dallas Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? From Robin Wildy, watching on YouTube. I'm driving back from Candle Lake. My truck lets me play the RP show on YouTube and not Facebook. How about that?
How about that?
Chill for a second while I get through these comments, okay? Gino DePauli, I'll just read one more. He says, Kelly McCrimmon doesn't make friends. He builds teams. Harsh, but that happens. Clearly, the hockey is a business mantra hasn't hit Vegas fans yet. Well, I was not really that upset this morning, other than I needed a moment that the flower was gone. But I'm not surprised anymore by anything that happens in sports whatsoever. And I can cheer for Robin Lehner. I can bring myself to cheer for Robin Lehner, but I really like Flower. It was a favorite pick. Favorite fit there. Dean Tix in Green Bay. Favorite number 36. Former Packer Leroy Butler. Man, I started something.
Oh, yeah.
I'll get to your comments, folks. I just got business to take care of. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, you might find this interesting, says that as a lifelong Montreal Canadiens fan, he's deeply disappointed by the team's selection of Logan Mailloux in the NHL draft. Mailloux, who was picked by the Canadiens on July 23rd, was fined by a Swedish court last year after he was convicted of charges related to sharing, without her consent, a photo of a woman performing a sexual act. Trudeau told reporters in Moncton today that the Canadiens organization showed a lack of judgment by drafting Mailloux and that the team owes an explanation to fans. The 18-year-old Mailloux, who had asked teams not to draft him, told reporters on Saturday that sharing the photo was, quote, stupid and irresponsible. Again, Trudeau said he's deeply disappointed in the Montreal Canadiens. Justin, let's talk about you for a while.
Oh,
Winnipeg,
good one, Rod.
The Winnipeg Jets have added defenseman Brendan Dillon to their squad. The Jets acquired the 30-year-old blue liner from the Washington Capitals on Monday in exchange for 2 second-round draft picks in 2022 and 2023. Brendan Dillon's from New Westminster, played 4 seasons in Seattle, and a tough start for the Blue Jays in their series at Fenway Park. The Boston Red Sox rallied in the 8th inning for the second straight day as Alex Verdugo hit a 2-run homer to push the AL East leaders to a 5-4 victory over Toronto in the series opener. That's it. This sports update for the Tap Brew House and drive-through liquor store and for Red Bull Canada. Red Bull gives you wings. Viewer takeover next. Eric Engels from Montreal coming up in hour 2. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
In today's fast-paced world, we know you don't always have time to cook a nutritious meal. The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw's got you covered with delicious takeout and delivery specials, even for large groups or occasions. Authentic Greek cuisine, pizza, ribs, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Offering licensed dining, delivery, and their takeout window is open to get your Greek to go. For more information and to view the online menu, visit themadgreekeatery.com.
Ultimate Fan Zone. Shop online. UltimateFanZone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. UltimateFanZone.ca or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFC Downtown Moose Jaw. Home of everything authentic.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Welcome back, everybody. Boy, did we start something. It is viewer takeover, as I said, and we will do next hour a original 16 update on the injuries across the Canadian Football League. Let's get it started. Viewer takeover. Brady writing in. Prairie Mobile text line says, "Hey Rod, Marc-Andre Fleury's been moved to Chicago to go play with Kirby Dach, Seth Jones, Taves, Kane, DeBrincat. Going to be a pretty good team, I think, if Fleury doesn't retire, of course. If the rumor's true that Fleury found out from Twitter, that's not very classy by the Golden Knights organization." And he says the Riders have just a couple more practices to get conditioned for the start of the regular season. They got, I don't know, looking at the calendar, they got almost 2 weeks. What's today's a Tuesday? They play a week from Friday. That's more than a few practices, but you're right. Trudeau comes out and admonishes the Montreal Canadiens today. So our Stampeders fan Jeff writes in on that, and he says, "Shocker, Trudeau takes the opportunity to virtue signal. Trudeau owes an explanation to Canadians," and he's not talking about the hockey team. From John in Winnipeg, John Ohm. Typically Trudeau. Like we want your opinion. Wow. Would you imagine some reporter was like, "Mr. Prime Minister, what do you think about your favorite hockey team drafting Logan Mailloux?" Do you think he would have been asked that, or he would have offered it? Of course he would have been asked that. You think he wouldn't have offered it? No. By the way, let's take a break and take a pause from screwing over Western Canada on the carbon tax, and let's talk about my favorite hockey team and their first-round pick the other night. You don't think he would have offered that? Maybe. I don't know. But if he was asked, what else is he supposed to say? You know what? I like the team. I think it's a good pick. Hell of a hockey player. Go Habs, go. Yeah, exactly. As he unbuttons his jacket to show his Habs tie. Exactly. From Dillon Spicer in Nova Scotia, good on him for taking ownership and responsibility. Hopefully he learned from the mistake that he made. One more on Logan Mailloux. You had a comment on other teams. Well, that's what there was other teams that were kind of talking about taking him in the second round, eyeing him up in the second round, and word was getting around. And I think that's why you're saying that Marc Bergevin's like, this is a really good hockey player, and are they actually thinking about taking him? Maybe we got to take him. That's exactly what I said to you yesterday. To me, if the other teams were thinking about taking them, we need to know who those other teams are too, because they're just as at fault here as the Canadiens. Did they not get the memo that this kid took himself out of the draft? Did they not have a conference call or a memo saying, don't pick this kid? You'll all have a chance to get him next year? Right? What's going on here? One thing that people don't understand, quite often, you just have to remember, I got a little more gray at the temples than you do, son. People would often say, there's no way they could allow that to happen. How could they be that stupid that he would pull himself from the draft, but the teams would still pick him and they would allow that? They wouldn't be that stupid, could they? Yes, they could. These things happen. How could that slip between the cracks? Because the monkey fell asleep at the wheel. Ryan Gregory watching on YouTube says, "Hey, Rod, will you be doing game predictions for the CFL each week this upcoming season?" Ryan, that is a Texas 10-4. Correct? Oh, yeah. Yeah. And we have our special CFL preview coming up next week. But next hour, Eric Engels of Sportsnet Montreal and more fun and frivolity. Stick around after this break on Game Plus TV.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Now,
I say it every day with the people that I'm around. It's not that people are dumb, maybe ignorant. Ignorant means unaware of how things work. We've really realized this in the last 6 months about a lot of things.
How about that?
I'm not criticizing you. I've just never met anybody like that before. Everybody in my circle likes a little bit of everything, or a lot of everything. But that's the whole idea of diversifying, right? Variety is the spice of life.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hey, it absolutely is. Welcome to Hour 2 of the RP Show. You wouldn't believe what goes on here in the commercial breaks. Put the camera on both, please. Oh, the Moose just jumped in. What were you doing? You shaking the dew off your lily, right?
That's right. Draining the main vein.
That was a busy commercial break there.
Oh, my God. The bathroom was lined up like a sports stadium at halftime.
That's what I'm saying.
And I was last in line.
Sword fight! There was a lineup for the bathroom, and here we all are. And then there was all this yelling going on from room to room to room. You wouldn't believe what goes on around here in between commercial breaks and so forth. It's Hour 2. How do you like us so far? We are brought to you by the Four Seasons Sports Palace in this second half kickoff. And one thing Moose said, because the Prime Minister came out and said that he is deeply disappointed in the Montreal Canadiens for selecting Logan Mailloux in the NHL draft on the weekend, the kid who was convicted last year of sexually explicit charges. That triggered an avalanche of comments anti-Trudeau. And Justin,
hey, easy.
Darren said,
easy.
I'm sorry, Darren said, well, you say it. You said,
I'm just not here for it.
You said you loathe.
Yeah, I just don't like the political talk. And I mean, I don't necessarily hate talking politics, and I love talking about, different things like that, but I'm just not here for any bashing of any kind.
And I know you're not. I know you're not. And I've long said that, correct? I'm the same?
For sure.
But what I've also said is this. Hey, Justin, you stay out of sports and we'll stay out of politics.
Works for me.
How about that?
How about that?
Capiche? Comprende? And then the other big news today. Marc-Andre Fleury has been traded from the Vegas Golden Knights to Chicago and is contemplating his future, according to his agent, Alan Walsh, who said both he and the Flower were informed via Twitter today that the Golden Knights had traded the franchise face to the Chicago Blackhawks. So we've been kicking that around. What we do here in the second half kickoff is invite your participation, because usually we've been coming in hot from hour one, right? It's like, why would we bring in an interview guest now? Because there's so much stuff to digest from hour one and what's been going on, because we are Canada's daytime sports talk show, and there's a lot of stuff's gone on this morning already. Like all these topics from yesterday that I wrote down are so Monday. And the Four Seasons Sports Palace is your home for the UFC and the Seattle Kraken fan club. Yeah, everybody's writing in now with Trudeau comments. We're over it. We're done. We're moving on. Jeff Cabillas in Winnipeg writes in and says, logged in to see the word troughs. LOL. Moose and I are talking about going to Winnipeg here for a football game in August. Taking the show out there, having a little party out front of IG Field. Be a great day for me to wear blue because it's going to be the Argos at the Blue Bombers, right?
Yep.
What do you think? Going to happen?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If we can get tickets, which I don't think should be a problem.
Murph!
Exactly.
Murph! Get him on the phone.
Get on it.
That's a Chris Jones imitation. Murph! Miss those guys. Yeah, here we go. John in Winnipeg. John says, come to Winnipeg, RP show. I'm thinking about it. Maybe we'll bring in Ron Duguay. What do you say? They got a Studio 54 in Winnipeg? No, but they got a Hooters. And a Pony Corral. What more do you need?
Sounds good to me.
Several Pony Corrals, actually.
Sounds good to me.
The Prairie Mobile text line is open. 306-840-8777. That is 840-8777. Craig in Calgary texting in, watching on Game Plus TV, says, lots of good feels with all of the great results from Tokyo. Dare I say it, time to finalize bids for Vancouver 2030 or Toronto 2036. How about Calgary? We're going to throw in those other towns.
Why not?
Where are we on hosting Olympics? I think we emerged unscathed in 2010 in Vancouver financially. Memories for a lifetime.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, I'm all for it. But what's COVID done to this country? And what's it going to do by then? We're talking 14 years away for Toronto 2036. Is this a thing now that you're hearing? Because I'm not really until you brought that up.
Not a lot, but you got to plan this far out in advance, and I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot that goes into it. It's not cheap. It's great I think it's great for the community. I really do. But again, it's like building a new stadium, and we've seen it all across this country. You and I are very familiar with this, in our backyard. Winnipeg went through it. They're going to go through it in Calgary. They're going through it in other markets. If you're not going to the games, if you're not a fan of the teams, you're going to think this is a waste of my money and I don't want my tax dollars going to this.
Right.
You won't see the money that goes into your restaurant, that because of a sports stadium, you make an extra $100,000 a year in your restaurant.
Of course.
You just think you don't go to the games, you don't want your tax dollars to build the stadium. You think that just because you don't support the Olympics or you're not a fan of the Olympics, you don't want your tax dollars going towards it, and you don't see the economic spinoff in the community and the money that trickles in to other areas that doesn't immediately affect you. So I think it's a net positive for communities when the Olympics are hosted.
For sure.
I really do.
And the facilities that it leaves behind.
Right.
Let's not forget. We got breaking news. Todd Pinkney telling us Ovi has re-signed with the Capitals for 5 years, $9.5 million a year. That's right in line, I would say, with what he should make. On that podcast I was on last night, No Credentials Required out of New York, they asked for some bold predictions for free agency. And I'm like, I don't see anything real bold happening here. I said, Ovi's, where else is he going to play? And this happens. Where else is Ryan Getzlaf going to play? He's not leaving Anaheim. There's no way. But what I did say is the Seattle Kraken have quite a bit of money left over after their expansion draft last week. And we're hearing that Jaden Schwartz will be signing with the Seattle Kraken, which will make him the 5th Saskatchewan player. And it's becoming the Saskatchewan Kraken. And how about that? Clark, I've got his phone number, by the way. We should see if Schwartzy will come on. Let's wait until the news goes down.
That would be great. And they were talking about Schwartz for a little while now. You know, I've been seeing this news for a couple of days. And the biggest difference between Seattle's expansion draft and Vegas's is Vegas, coming out of the expansion draft, had players, although they weren't real household names. They still had a team, a pretty good one, and assets, right? Where Seattle's gone a little different route, but what Seattle has that Vegas maybe didn't, Seattle's got some gaps in their roster, but a ton of cap space. So Vegas wasn't big free agent players. Seattle's going to be players in the free agency now that it's opening up. So Jaden Schwartz, likely the first one.
Oh, yes. Well, everybody's asking if I will be switching my allegiances from Canada's team, the Vegas Golden Knights, to the Seattle Kraken. I may. The Golden Knights need to step up.
Phone hasn't rang in a while.
Yeah, exactly. Haven't heard from him in a while. Chop, chop. Especially with the flower gone today. Did you hear? Marc-Andre Fleury's been traded to the Chicago Blackhawks. He was my favorite player on the Golden Knights, so do the math. Clark, well, actually, before that, John in Winnipeg says, sad to see those awesome facilities in Tokyo empty. Unreal stadiums for the sports being played there. The beach volleyball stadium is just, wow. What a shock that Ron Duguay's gravitated towards the beach volleyball, by the way.
Are you surprised?
No.
He looks like he lives in the sand, like just sprawled out.
I was thinking more of the skimpy outfits, but you know what I mean.
Absolutely. You know, he's there. Absolutely. He's the guy with the shades on a string, sitting in his lawn chair with a Mai Tai.
Is he ever?
Watching, right? I mean,
is he ever?
That's the guy. And loves that lifestyle. I mean, I love it too.
Who wouldn't?
Exactly.
Hey, Clark, can we hit, well, two things for producer Clark. The viewer wrote in earlier, Allie from Edmonton. She said that producer Clark, the photo that we brought up from the Great Western photo album yesterday, Great Western Lager, bore a striking resemblance to Jim the Anvil Neidhart from Stampede Wrestling days. And there it is. There's the comment. And how about that?
That's pretty close.
Clark, you want to grow that thing out?
Yeah, you got to put it in a point there. That's pretty good.
Put a ring around it and you'll look like Captain Lou Albano. But that is actually start. Good call, Allie. Very good call.
Bob's your uncle.
Where's this stuff coming from? You hear them laughing back there?
Yeah.
Bryn's here today, I can tell. There's a lot of extra laughter over there.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty good.
Dude, it's 11:11.
Drink.
How about that?
Everybody take a sip of coffee. It's 11:11. Okay. Original 16 update. Are we ready? Can you get it? Let's do it. Tell me. Here we go. We sat around the studio after hours the other day and debated what's the number one story in the CFL these days. Pretty much everyone said injuries. And it seems no team has been hit harder than your friendly neighborhood Saskatchewan Roughriders. On Monday, Coach Craig Dickinson revealed a fifth player has had his season ended with a torn Achilles tendon. It was rookie defensive lineman Tim Williams, a former member of the Alabama Crimson Tide. From the reports I've seen, that's 8 Achilles tendon ruptures across the CFL, and they're only halfway through training camp. But that's not all. The Toronto Argonauts are watching a hamstring injury to prize free agent quarterback Nick Arbuckle very closely, while in Calgary, Bo Levi Mitchell is missing time with what the club calls soreness. That's the same story in Ottawa with their number one quarterback, Matt Nichols. I follow a lot of Rider fans on Twitter, and their reaction to this news has been entertaining. One asked on the weekend if there will be any players left by week 1 on August 5th. You can be assured Cody Fajardo has been fitted with bubble wrap. The other story is the veterans getting cut across the league, including Naaman Roosevelt in Montreal and Edmonton's Kenny Stafford and Kevin Brown. Both those Elks players took issue with the reasons they were let go. Brown had a big problem with team media saying there were injury issues, while Kevin maintains he hasn't been injured at all. Isn't it a bugger when players have their own Twitter accounts? The games haven't even started yet, but the entertainment has already begun. How about that?
How about that? It's a huge, huge story.
Which one, the injuries or the vets being cut?
Both. And just, I kind of wonder what's going on in Edmonton. Is it 2 isolated incidents and players feel a little bit jaded, but then you got Derek Dennis jumping in and saying, you see what I'm dealing with here? It's now 3 veterans that are having, some less than desirable dealings with the Edmonton Elks.
An Original 16 to fit your active lifestyle. That's the Original 16 Ultra, superior taste with only 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol. Taste without compromise. So those are some of the other stories that are going on across the Canadian Football League. The injuries, actually, when you say what's going on in Edmonton, I thought, they're not having huge injuries, but what you mean is, why are they cutting these veteran players and kind of lighting them on fire as they send them out of town?
That's right.
It's not the way you should do things. I mean, I have mondo respect for the head coach, Jamie Elizondo. He's the one that said Kenny Stafford wasn't a cultural fit with the Edmonton Elks. And I guess Jamie Elizondo's building his new culture. I mean, he can say whatever he wants. He's a first-year head coach, and his ass is on the line. But Kenny Stafford did reach out to us and thanked us for the support. I mean, this guy doesn't have a history of this, right? So it doesn't make a lot of sense. And I got to say this about the linebacker, Kevin Brown, who made a huge play in the CFL Sim Grey Cup last year. Do you remember? He blocked a field goal in overtime.
That's right.
To preserve the victory for the Ottawa Redblacks in the CFL Sim. That's the guy. So one of the reporters, I don't want to name him, but he is a good friend of ours, said, the reason Kevin Brown was released is because of too many injury issues. Kevin Brown retweeted that and said, I've never been injured. So when you say what's going on in Edmonton, what is going on in Edmonton? Can you just say he wasn't good enough? Maybe that would be the way to go.
Yeah. And it was confusion about which spot he was playing. And, he talked about being a backup at, I believe, will linebacker. And they're like, well, this middle linebacker's taking his job. He's like, I was playing outside linebacker. And then they're like, I was second team special teams.
Like I say, isn't it a bugger when the players have their own Twitter accounts and the truth can get out there?
I know.
By the way, more breaking news. Again, Pinks, we got to put them on payroll here. The Philadelphia Flyers have signed Keith Yandle to a 1-year deal. And this is tremendous a segue here or timing, because Eric Engels of Sportsnet Montreal joins us next to talk about all of these things, okay? And we'll come back around on CFL stuff later on, too. The poll question I should mention for Capital Auto Mall, Universal Collision Center, I can't forget that. The Fleury trade seems like 2 hours ago, Moose.
I know.
Did the Golden Knights keep the right goalie? 68% of you people say no, they didn't keep the right goalie. They should have kept the Flower. 68% on Twitter, 53% on Facebook. Eric Engels joins us next. You are watching on Game Plus TV, streaming on YouTube and Facebook, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence, you have to take the leap of faith, so to say. And I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Direct West provides us with stats and analytics, and it's amazing for us to look and see that each year we're 10 to 20% higher on our Google leads. It's great to see the success that our locations are having. The Direct West app gives us an opportunity to be in one place for people to find any of our locations or our commodities. Without Direct West, we would have to be in multiple digital places. I would recommend Direct West. They're great to work with.
Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalfordlincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show.
Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. What a Tuesday. What a Tuesday. Breaking news. Reigning Vezina Trophy winning goaltender Marc-Andre Fleury has been traded from the Vegas Golden Knights, Canada's team, to the Chicago Blackhawks and is contemplating his future. What's interesting here in the Canadian press story, they don't even say who for. Not in the early part of the story anyways. What's the guy's name? Mikko Häkkinen?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
It doesn't matter. I'll find it here somewhere. But Katie Fleury writes in and she says, I'm one sad Knights fan. Vegas may as well kiss the playoffs goodbye now. And she says, is today over yet? Oh no, Katie, we got plenty to go. And Keith Yandle signed with Philadelphia, and Ovi signed with Washington, and Jed's a millionaire. Let's bring in Eric Engels now from Sportsnet Montreal, because there's all kinds of offshoots on this. How you doing, Eric? Happy Tuesday.
I'm doing good. Michael Häkkinen.
Michael Häkkinen. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Close enough. Close enough.
Nowhere near $7 million a year what the Flower was getting in Vegas. But because he's a Quebec kid, Eric, would you please give me your take on this trade?
I just think this is the Golden Knights conducting a a ruthless bit of business, and it's not about trading Marc-Andre Fleury. I think that was the decision that they were going to make, especially the day that they acquired Robin Lehner. I mean, that the writing was on the wall for that. But for Fleury to find out on Twitter, for no one from the Golden Knights to reach out to him and tell him what was going down in the situation, you know, I understand it's a business. All players understand it's a business. But when you conduct business that cold-heartedly and ruthlessly, your other players are going to, it's going to resonate with them, and it's going to resonate with free agents in the market. And, you know, I don't think Max Pacioretty was a fan of having his name thrown into rumors last year and finding out that the Golden Knights were potentially shopping him after signing him to a 4-year, $28 million deal and making the trade with Montreal. I don't believe that Nate Schmidt was particularly happy about just suddenly being traded to Vancouver after being such a big part of Vegas. And I understand it is a business. We all get that. The players understand that very well. But, you know, there is a certain way to do things. And they decided to bring in Alex Pietrangelo last year and caused a ripple just in moving guys out just to make them, you know, a part of their team. And this with Fleury, who's a future Hall of Famer and the most popular guy in that room, it's not going to play well with the players that are there.
I think you're 100% right, Eric, and wonderful analysis, by the way. There is talk of him retiring. Do you think he ever plays a game in a Chicago uniform?
Well, from my understanding, that talk is related to what he wants to do regarding his family. If he'd like to be away for them for a year to continue his career, if he wants to uproot them and move them out of Vegas, where he had built a home and had no desire of leaving there. You know, it's a really difficult decision, and it would be a terrible thing to see a player of his caliber with the career that he's had kind of be forced out of the game by something like this. I don't know what's going to happen moving forward. I don't know if Chicago will try to facilitate a deal for Fleury to somewhere that's a better destination or a destination more of his choosing, where he'd be comfortable potentially moving his family or commuting back and forth to Vegas if he intends to keep his family there. To be honest, anything I could say would be complete speculation because I don't know how Marc-Andre Fleury feels. We just know that Alan Walsh, his agent, put it out there that he's going to contemplate his future and discuss things with his family. If he ends up in Chicago, you know, he makes them a better team. He's the reigning Vezina Trophy winner. He was just traded for virtually nothing, you know, an American Hockey League prospect. You know, it's a very compelling story, and this is my instant reaction to it, but I just think he deserves a lot better than to be told on Twitter.
Eric Engels from Sportsnet Montreal with us. Tremendous analysis again. And again, he's the reigning Vezina Trophy winner. My God, he's not retiring. He's not Seinfeld going out on top here. By the way, James in Borden, Manitoba says, all Vegas fans are waking up to a kick in the teeth. The Knights are ruthless. 4 years in the league, 3 conference final appearances. I'll just put that out there. That's from a Golden Knights fan here. Katie says he got stabbed in the back again. Katie Fleury, she's a Golden Knights fan. And from Brady in Muskoka, Ontario, he says Ovi's re-signed too. 5 years, $47.5 million. We'll unpack all of this, Eric, but because you're the Habs beat guy for Sportsnet, was there ever any chance whatsoever that Carey Price would have been selected by Seattle in the expansion draft? What went into him being left unprotected?
Yeah, for sure there was a chance. You know, the minute that he was unprotected, it was obviously a major discussion within the Seattle group and brain trust to select him. He's a franchise player, a guy that instantly would sell the jerseys and then some to make up for the money that's owed to him on his contract, $44.25 million and an $11 million check that needed to be cut, you know, early in the fall. And a lot of signing bonus money in that contract for the rest of it. And, you know, the cap hit is considerable. So there was a lot of risk involved in Seattle potentially taking him for the financial reasons. There was risk involved because of his injury history. But the risk became imminently higher when Seattle wasn't going to have a guarantee of what his injury status was and what his health status was for the upcoming season. You look at the way they made their other selections, it was clear that cap space was going to be at a premium for them in terms of building out their team over the next number of years and not just this next one. So to swallow such a huge hit, what would amount to 13% of the cap, and probably for the next 3-4 years as the cap remains stagnant at $81.5 million, to not know what the extent of Carey Price's injuries were, made it kind of an impossible situation for them. They wanted Montreal to believe all along that they were likely going to take him regardless. They wanted to be able to pluck some sort of asset out of Marc Bergevin to do it. But as you see, Marc Bergevin wasn't the only GM who kind of held strong and decided, I'm not giving Seattle anything other than the player they're going to take from me in this expansion draft. And that started with Jake Allen, and it extended to Carey Price, and he played his cards and played them quite masterfully, I would suggest. And so Carey Price remains a Montreal Canadian, and he got the best news of all late last week, that he's looking at the best case scenario in terms of the knee procedure that he had to undergo, which he underwent, and it was successful. He's looking at a 10 to 12 week recovery and is expected to be prepared to start the next regular season in Montreal. So it was a really fascinating little bit of time. I think the Canadiens were concerned for a little bit. I think Carey Price was concerned for a little bit. But as soon as it got out there that he was having his hip and knee looked at, and we weren't sure, when or he'd be back playing, and Seattle wasn't going to get any confirmation of that, that's basically where it died.
The viewers, not surprisingly, Eric, still hung up on the Marc-Andre Fleury news and moving his family. James in Borden, Manitoba says, Chicago is not exactly a family city. Trish Hege is watching on Facebook. She says, Chicago is like forced retirement. 37% of our viewers are female, by the way, Moose, in case you forgot. And on Fleury leaving Vegas, Stacy Champagne watching says, oh, so he's leaving on a high note? LOL. Doesn't matter. We'll discuss that. It's still raw. It's still raw today. Speaking of raw, Shea Weber, Eric, how do you go from playing 29 minutes a game in the Stanley Cup final to you're potentially never playing again with these injuries? What was this guy playing through?
Oh, he was playing through a lot, and we know that he was playing through a lot over the last couple of years, whether it was his foot, his ankle, his knee. He's wearing tape around his wrist for the last couple of years. So I don't know how long-term the damage was there. And then to suffer the thumb injury that he suffered towards the end of the season that forced him out of the end of the regular season. And then he comes back, a couple of days before the playoffs started, he wasn't holding a stick with his top hand. And then all of a sudden he's playing upwards of 30 minutes a game, between 25 and 30, and he was leading the playoffs all the way through up until the final, where I think he finished third in ice time. No one seemed to know the full extent of Weber's injuries, because Weber is such a tough guy. He didn't share that information with virtually anyone. He knew, and it seemed clear in the way he played now in retrospect, and the way he gave himself to the team and sacrificed his body, that he was playing all out and doing everything he could to make this last run count for something. And he came as close as you could possibly get. And I don't think anybody was beating that Tampa Bay team. Montreal played excellent hockey to get there, and Shea Weber was a huge part of it. And in the final, where I don't think the Canadiens gave themselves the best chance to win, because they didn't play particularly well through the first couple of games at least, Shea Weber was a standout in terms of the way he played. So he goes out with his head held high. To me, he's a Hall of Famer. He's a champion, despite the fact that he never lifted the Stanley Cup. I think he's been a champion everywhere else, and he has the heart of a champion and leads like a champion. And he will leave behind a wake of culture that the Canadiens should build on for years to come. Understand that might be smudged a bit with what they did at the draft over the last weekend, but the players that are in place that were able to learn from him over this run, I think that's one of the most valuable things that they got. It's one thing to look at Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield and Jesperi Kotkaniemi and Alex Romanov and say, hey, look how far they made it in the playoffs, and that's great for them, and that's great for the Canadiens moving forward. But to me, that's only part of the story. The fact that they did it and had that experience alongside Corey Perry and Eric Stahl and Shea Weber and Carey Price, and go down the list of some of the great players in that Canadiens dressing room, that is going to be the ultimate resonant value for the franchise. So it's really something. And for Shea Weber, much like we're talking about with Marc-Andre Fleury, here's a player that deserves to go out on his own terms when you look at the way he's played. And I think it's very sad if he can't come back at some point, and it's looking very improbable that he will come back at some point, that he goes out this way, especially after the career he had.
Again, Brady in Muskoka, Ontario, watching. Brady Leovold says, he's a WHL guy. Come on, Rod. Of course he was going to play. I didn't say I didn't expect him to play. I'm saying, what was he going through? My God, he sounds like everything in him was broken. And he's from Sicamous, BC, by the way. So we'll see where the Weber story goes. Are the Habs positioned to build off this in your mind, Eric? Like you mentioned some of the free agents. Old licorice legs. Kotkaniemi's a free agent, I see. Restricted, I believe. Was this a one and done? Or where are they going from here, Eric, do you think?
Well, they've got a lot of money to spend, $14 million on the cap, but with Weber's contract likely going to long-term IR, and I think that's a formality, even if the NHL needs to decide once he reports to training camp and has a full medical evaluation, once again, to see where rest has brought him to. That's over $21 million to play with in free agency through trade and building out the roster. And I think Marc Bergevin is going to be extremely aggressive, certainly when free agency opens. But as the summer goes along, there's no cap or time limit on him potentially making a trade or two that helps the Canadiens. And they have assets to move. They've got a lot of picks. Only Detroit has made more picks than them over the last 3 years, and now at this draft added more picks than anybody else. They've got young capital, draft prospect ability to get themselves some name players, and I think Marc Bergevin is going to look very intently at that market to do things. Can he solve all the issues all at once? It looks like Phillip Danault is going to reported a few weeks or a couple of weeks ago. I don't know. The time is all blending together now, Rod. Like, I don't remember what day it is. But Phillip Danault is going to explore the market, and he's likely done with the Canadiens. They haven't circled back with him anytime recently, and I don't know if they intend to after 12 o'clock tomorrow once he fields a few official offers. I have to think discussions have already happened. Oh yeah, teams, agents say that, they got to wait, but let's be honest, like we're seeing the business get conducted in front of our eyes. So I'd imagine Phillip Danault has a pretty good idea of where he might land tomorrow, and I don't think it's going to be Montreal. Thomas Tatar is out the door. Yoel Armia just saw Barclay Goodrow signed for $3.6 million over a 6-year deal with the New York Rangers. Wonder what he's thinking as the market approaches and the call to the market approaches, and whether or not the Canadiens would go as long as 5 or 6 years on Yoel Armia is questionable in my mind. So they're going to have some holes to fill, and it's a good thing they have the money because there's a lot of players that are available. There's a lot of teams that are strapped against the cap that are looking 2-3 years into the future and thinking about how they're going to maneuver things. And cap space, as Seattle made very clear, is at a premium. It is the most valuable asset you can have in this environment. And I think Marc Bergevin has proven to be a pretty shrewd GM, and he will use it to the best of his ability, but he won't use it just for the sake of using it. I think we saw that over a couple of years leading into this one, that if he doesn't feel the money's worth spending on a specific asset, he won't spend it. So we'll see. It's exciting times. And, for someone who tends to have their finger on the pulse of what's going on with the Canadiens at all times, we're going into something that's a little bit more unpredictable than I'm used to. And maybe it's just because the Canadiens went this deep into the playoffs and we haven't had as much time to make the phone calls and get in touch with everyone to find out exactly what they're up to. Spoken to as many people as possible, but as always, Marc Bergevin likes to say, expect the unexpected, and I'm expecting the unexpected from him.
Yeah. Hey, Ryan H. watching on YouTube says, Eric Engels is on fire. What great analysis. Another one of the reasons I love this show. We got about a minute, Eric. I have to ask you, the Prime Minister admonished the Canadiens today for taking Logan Mailloux with the 31st overall pick. You were probably expecting we'd ask you about it, and here I am. How's the team handling the controversy, the backlash from drafting Mr. Mailloux?
I don't know how they're handling it internally, but I know how I would have thought they should have handled it when they made the pick. If they really wanted to sell it to the public that he was worthy of a second chance, they should have presented an action plan on how he's going to prove that. Because just taking him at his word that he's remorseful for what he did to this young woman, when she has told reporters at other outlets that she feels his apology to her was insincere, that it was a 3-line text that didn't express the gravity of his actions and that he understood them. I think the Canadiens would have been wise if they had decided that they were going to choose this player 31st overall, or really what ended up being the 30th pick because Arizona was docked the pick. They should have come out and said, here are the steps he's going to take to redeem himself. He's going to, for example, meet with victims of similar crimes to the one he committed so that he really understands the gravity of the damage that he did. He's going to take a portion of his entry-level contract and donate them to such causes, to combat, sexual abuse or privacy infringement and stuff like that. And we're going to match his donation. We're going to bring him along in these group therapy sessions. We're going to teach him a certain way. And if he doesn't prove that he's worthy of that second chance that we're going out on a limb and giving him, we're going to renounce him. So, I think that was a way to sell it from a public relations standpoint. It's clear that they made a decision that was purely hockey-based, and they felt that just in speaking to the player and hearing that he's remorseful, that they felt that was enough to offer him a second chance. And I think that's why the backlash is there, and it's virulent, and it's enormous. And I think there was ways to potentially avoid it. And you know what, guys? Let's be honest. I'm all for second chances. I'm not about canceling people outright. I'm about nurturing them and finding that to getting them to find a way to find their best selves moving forward. But, remorseful, that is the bare minimum you expect from someone who commits a crime and does something that violates someone's privacy the way he did. So I understand the backlash, and the Canadiens brought that on themselves. And given that they haven't presented an action plan, their next opportunity to speak on this issue would be to do exactly that. And I think that should be in the works, and it should be presented quickly if they want to get out from under this, because he's going to face those questions moving forward for every day that he's a Montreal Canadien. And they're going to face it too until they address that issue and find a way to explain why this kid is actually worth a second chance beyond him saying he's remorseful.
Very well said. Eric, thank you so much. Love your stuff. Enjoy what's left of summer. Hopefully you get a break in August, and I appreciate the time.
Thanks very much, Rod. Take care.
Eric Engels from Sportsnet Montreal with a vast Canadiens update. A fantastic one. Okay, we'll unpack all of it when we return, including the Prime Minister's comments today on this. This is Daytime Sports Talk. You're watching on the Game Plus television network. Live streaming on YouTube and Facebook, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds full-service car wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility.
PDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Oh, welcome back, everybody. Holy smokes, I got to tell you. The day began with Marc-Andre Fleury being traded by the Vegas Golden Knights to the Chicago Blackhawks. Here we are 2 hours later, and it's like the fourth thing on TSN.ca.
Oh, yeah.
This is what's been going on.
I know.
What a day. Daytime sports talk. This is the place.
That's right.
Brady in Muskoka, Ontario. Brady Leovold says, this is the best sports talk show anywhere. Seriously, Rod, you guys do such a great job. Kudos to you and the team. Thank you, Brady. I appreciate it. Jennifer down at the Four Seasons Sports Palace, she says, so if Mailloux was drafted by any other team, would there have been the same controversy? That is a Texas 10-4. It's there's no doubt. And so what's she talking about and what's going on here, if you just tuned in? Here's a Tuesday in Canada. Alex Ovechkin has re-signed with the Washington Capitals on the eve of free agency, inking a 5-year deal worth $47.5 million. The Vancouver Canucks have placed goalie Braden Holtby on waivers ahead of a buyout. He could still end up with the Saskatchewan Kraken.
Oh, yeah, he could. Yeah.
The 31-year-old netminder came to Vancouver in free agency last year, signing a 2-year deal at $4.3 million per year. The Edmonton Oilers made a move Tuesday before the NHL's buyout window closed, placing left winger James Neal on waivers.
Huh.
What?
Ron Francis, eh?
What about him?
We're probably going to buy Holtby out. I'll take Cole Lind and get Holtby later.
Yeah. Yes.
Sharp.
Spicy.
Dan, the situation, Saravelli is watching in Philadelphia. And he says, fun fact, women's national team member Carly Lloyd went to my high school. Signed, Dan, the situation.
He's bought into it now.
This guy's all oiled up.
GTL.
Oh, yeah. Back on point, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says that as a lifelong Montreal Canadiens fan, he's deeply disappointed by the team's selection of Logan Mailloux in the NHL draft. Mailloux, who was picked by the Habs on Friday night, was fined by a Swedish court last year after he was convicted of charges related to sharing without her consent a photo of a woman performing a sexual act. The Prime Minister told reporters in Moncton today that the Canadiens organization showed a lack of judgment by drafting Mailloux and that the team owes an explanation to fans. And they've been considerably torched by not just their own fans, by the public since Friday night. Eric Engels just made a really good point about what they could have done to manage the public relations crisis. I don't know who said it. Well, I do know who said it, but I won't out him. This morning in our meeting, Darren, you said in our team meeting that, or you said it, so I guess I just outed you.
Yeah, it's okay.
You said a lot of teams think they're above everybody else. And maybe the Montreal Canadiens just feel we don't need to explain ourselves. We're drafting him. We don't need to explain ourselves. I could see that being the case. Yeah. I shouldn't speak for you. You were speaking at another issue.
No, for sure, yeah, and completely unrelated. But you also got to remember what our news cycle is, right? I mean, our news cycle today, is it even 2 hours? Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, Marc-Andre Fleury's old news, and that's a huge story. So they're banking on, everybody's upset, and they're torching the jerseys and everything else, but 3 months from now, will we forget and buy tickets?
Of course.
Will the Bell Center be full?
Yes.
That's kind of what they're banking on. I don't agree with it. I don't think it's right. But I don't know that this is going to be a big financial hurt for them. But it isn't a good move. That doesn't change that. It's still not the right thing to do. And I believe in doing the right thing.
Derek Cousins writing us on Twitter says, your show is a welcome respite from the Aaron Rodgers garbage. Can't wait for your CFL preview show. I watch ESPN every single morning, and now so do you.
Mm-hmm.
And so many times in the last couple of weeks, I've turned to the TV and just went, oh, come on. Is there nothing else? But Aaron Rodgers, this is an insult to Major League Baseball and the NBA. I don't even expect you to talk hockey. That ship sailed. But is there nothing else in the National Football League than Aaron Rodgers? It's way, way too much. Look, I'm not even done the sports update, but we got a break. We'll be right back with overtime. Okay? What a day.
What a day.
It's the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube, and Facebook live streaming. And our 24-hour sports radio is brought to you by Suds Full-Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Ultimate Fan Zone. Shop online. UltimateFanZone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. UltimateFanZone.ca or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFC Downtown Moose Jaw. Home of everything authentic.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
At Capital GMC, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital GMC, we'll buy it.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Here we go. It's overtime. So many people, this is their favorite segment. Let's drop the puck. The moose is loose.
Let's go.
How about the Olympics? Do you know that they're going on?
I do. I've been watching. Last night was the first real night that I spent significant time in front of the TV, and I watched till midnight.
Come on.
I watched that whole softball game. I watched us get a silver in the pool. I watched Penny do her thing.
I watched the Blue Jays blow it against the Red Sox.
Yeah, I've watched that show already.
Yeah.
So
it was a replay.
I've seen that one.
Repeat. Wah, wah, wah. You saw my niece was at Fenway Park on
I did,
Sunday.
and we posted the video.
She sent me a video of it.
Packed, hey? How's she loving it down there?
Jammed. They were down there for a hockey tournament.
Yeah.
And went to a baseball game. So she's just getting her feet wet.
Mm-hmm. When does she go full time?
This
right
fall.
away, right?
Yeah,
does she have a
away.
date?
Yeah. Anyways, about the Olympics. How about us squirrels? How's Monty the squirrel's costume coming, by the way? Our newest mascot.
Mom's been on vacation, rented, at Manitou, so she hasn't been.
Did you ask her if she would sew the mascot outfit?
She hasn't been near the sewing machine. She watches all the time.
She volunteered to sew Ricky's outfit.
And we decided to buy Ricky's from a reputable. But you're like, no. We're okay if she sews. This one's going to look like pajamas, but whatever.
Roxanne Theris from Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions has written in. And by the way, the rock star of the day yesterday was Ron Duguay, which comes as a surprise to nobody. We got to get him one of those RP Show Rock Star of the Day shirts. He'd wear it around St. Augustine, Florida.
Maybe.
But he cut the sleeves off.
We need to get a Rock Star of the Day collar kind of shirt.
Roxanne says, did you see Simone Biles walked away from group competition this morning? We're reserving judgment on that story. We absolutely saw it. She walked away because of mental health issues. You've delved into it more than me.
Yeah. In the middle of kind of the team event, she pulled out, and it's like, if my head's not in the right spot, I can't put my body through this kind of thing. And she didn't completely close the door on the rest of the games. She may compete in the other events, but she's the, queen of the U.S. Olympic team, right?
Naomi Osaka did the same thing, and she's already out in the Olympics, right?
She's out now, yeah.
Was it the French Open she pulled herself from because of mental health issues? You don't really know what the backstory is on this and what she was battling. So I'm not going to... Someone had asked for my opinion on Simone doing this today, and I said, I don't want to make an opinion until I have all the facts. And I'll tell you why. So am I going to go down this road? Can I say it?
Yeah, it's okay.
Just because I'm dealing with a lot of teens right now in my recovery coaching world where they are pulling out of a lot of things because of mental health issues. And by the way, I, as a teen, had ranging, rampant mental health issues that would later in life be diagnosed as generalized anxiety disorder. So I don't know what Simone's deal is. I don't know what Naomi Osaka's deal is. I don't know. But what I'm teaching young kids now and helping them through is you do got to face it. You do got to step up to the plate, figuratively and literally. You cannot walk away and just claim, I'm not up to this. Or else everybody would. Whether it's writing this final, playing this game, having this conversation, you can't just walk away. But I'm not saying that's what she's doing, but I'm saying I'm seeing it more and more and more. And the young people are looking at their mentors in sports that are doing it, which is a cue for them to say, it's okay, I don't have to do this because this person walked away. And maybe that's fine. But if you're going to overcome these things and if you're going to take steps forward in life, sometimes you got to face the dragon. Fair? So that's my take on that. David in Winnipeg says, great that you're speaking of this, Rod. Mental health issues. Love you, man. Love you too, David. Thank you. Brady says, smart man, Rod. Thank you. I don't want to speak for her. I don't know, but it's just a dangerous signal that young people are getting in this area. Canada's women athletes are owning the podium at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Canada doubled its medal total to 8, with a gold in weightlifting today, a silver in swimming, and bronze in judo and softball. All of Canada's medals have been won by female athletes so far. The Blue Jays continue that 4-game series with the Red Sox at Fenway. Boston scored 2 runs in the 8th to come back and beat Toronto 5-4. And last night's series opener, the Blue Jays play their first game in Toronto in almost 2 years on Friday, once this series is over. This sports update is a presentation of dubnetwork.ca, and man, are they doing some great things at dubnetwork.ca. Number one source for Western Hockey League breaking news and analysis with the best team of writers across Western Canada and the Pacific Northwest. Visit today, dubnetwork.ca. Which, by the way, did you see our alum Liz Childs has been hired by the Las Vegas Review-Journal to cover the Golden Knights? What did I say about Liz Childs? She is of Asian descent and a female, and I said, go back and look it up. Liz can play on my team anytime. She's a grinder. She's a finisher. And what did Figgy say, our editor-in-chief? He's like, Liz, you're sending me these articles at 2 in the afternoon, 3 in the morning, 7 a.m., 8 p.m., right? She's like, why should I wait? She's a grinder.
Oh, yeah.
And the Las Vegas Review-Journal has noticed that. I just like her work ethic. She can work for us anytime, and she did. And again, you knew this was coming down the pipe. You knew she was going to get an opportunity like this.
Oh, yeah. Good people
Way to go, Liz.
You work hard, you're good people, and good things happen. Doesn't always mean they're going to happen right away. Doesn't always mean they're going to happen when you think they should or when you want them to, but they'll happen.
So, Liz, get down there to Vegas and figure out what the hell's going on between the Golden Knights and Marc-Andre Fleury.
Oh, yes, please.
Okay? Your first assignment. Tell me what the hell's going on with Canada's team, the Vegas Golden Knights, which I'll say again, when I heard the Flower was traded this morning, everybody expected I would be in the corner crying, sucking my thumb. Didn't happen. I, of all people, know it's a business. It's just sad to see it end this way, but 3 conference final appearances in 4 years of existence. Not bad.
How about those Hawks?
See you tomorrow with Kenny Stafford and Derek the Bone Crusher Dennis at noon Eastern.
Are we brainless?
Yes.
Yes.